What's at stake in November is bigger than Kerry versus Bush. Can the United States run an accurate election after the debacle of 2000?
We have voter registration cards.
All across the country, there are unprecedented efforts to get out the vote.
And your last name?
And in state after state, there are demonstrations criticizing how those votes will be counted. Just months before a pivotal election, nagging questions remain. How do we vote? Who gets to vote? And will our votes be counted? The crisis of confidence in this year's election goes back to Florida 2000.
Hundreds of Weston's registered voters could be seen standing in the serpentine line in Bonaventure.
That November 7th, the voting problems started early and lasted into the night.
We just got stuck here in traffic now, and they tell me we can't vote and exercise our rights. This is an abomination of American justice.
After that, the Florida count entered the twilight zone.
NBC News has projected Al Gore the winner in the presidential race in Florida.
NBC News projects that George Bush is the president-elect of the United States. He has won the state of Florida.
Florida is still too close to call and is going to a recount.
Stop the count! Stop the fraud! Every vote counts! Every vote counts!
As the recount began, all of Florida's election problems, from ballot access to ballot flaws, from voting equipment to counting methods, became the nightly news.
I'm from Century Village. I want our votes to count. I'm an American citizen, and the ballot was bad.
In Palm Beach, it was the now infamous butterfly ballot.
I came up with that because we have a very large senior population in our county, so I was trying to make the type larger for them to be able to see the ballot easier.
But the mismatched arrows and punch holes created widespread confusion. Voters were outraged.
We need a revote in this county. And all I can tell you is I'm retired, and I do a lot of fishing. And I know what fish smells like. And I'm sorry, this smells like fish.
And as the recount continued, there were the Chads.
Under our guidelines, the hanging one is counted, the swinging door is counted, and the try is counted. The ones that are not counted are the ones that are just dimpled or pregnant. They're a little bit out, but they're not through.
We didn't have the standards in place. You could go from county to county to county, and you could find 67 different ways that ballots were being reviewed and examined.
And in minority communities, it was worse. Many ballots from African American precincts were thrown out as an overvote because voters had been too specific about their choice.
The errors that tended to be made by African Americans was to check Gore and then write Gore's name. Totally unambiguous. You knew who that person wanted to vote for. It would have definitely been a legally valid vote if anybody had looked at it. But those votes were just kicked out.
And some didn't get to vote at all.
She came back and said, "You can't vote." I said, "Excuse me? What do you mean I can't vote?" She said, "You have been sent an absentee ballot, and therefore you can't vote. Step aside, get out of line, and you may go and see someone."
Isn't it ironic that now that the election is over, every time you see a district that is increasingly black, the odds are higher that those votes don't count?
After 36 days, the recount was stopped permanently. It all came down to a mere 537 votes.
I hereby declare Governor George W. Bush the winner of Florida's 25 electoral votes for the President of the United States.
When you start talking about a race that's decided by 537 votes, the microscope's going to be on you. And the public, because it doesn't happen every 4 years to that point, they sit there going, this isn't right. This isn't right. Florida screwed up.